Since the 1930s, Disney animators have put their pencils to paper in service of the idea that the greatest inspiration often comes from the magic of nature. Walt Disney himself understood the importance of spending time around animals, studying their behavior and personalities in order to create realistic characters and dynamic storylines. This meeting of the human and animal worlds sparked a legacy of storytelling that has shaped our relationship with animals and conservation forever. Today, we invite you to become a part of that legacy as our own Disney artists help you learn to sketch characters inspired by the very animals found here at Disney's Animal Kingdom. Get your pencils ready, because here comes our animation artist now.
Good morning, everybody. How's everybody doing today?
You might not recognize this special breed, but this small domestic pig is called a Kuni Kuni, and they come all the way from New Zealand. Look at him go! This little piggy lives on the savannah and can be seen from Kilimanjaro safaris. Warthogs come all the way from Africa, and they aren't so little after all. Check out that shovel-shaped snout, which all of these pigs have in common. They use it for digging around and finding food. And take a look at that tail. The warthog's tail is very animated. Look at it go. See how they throw their tails up when they're excited? Although cute, this can sometimes flag to others that danger is close by. Oh, hello! And this little piggy lives at the entrance of the park in the oasis. With its exotic, streamlined look, the babirusa is also known as the deer pig from Indonesia. This little piggy lives on the savannah at Disney's Animal Kingdom Lodge. These little cuties are called Red River hogs. They come from Africa too. And they all love to do what pigs do best, wallow. They dig shallow pits of mud and they roll away. Yeah, it's a pretty smart way to spend your time since it keeps you cool and protects you from biting insects. So come see all of our pigs here at Walt Disney World. And while you're here, be sure to learn more about pigs and how supporting the Disney Conservation Fund protects all kinds of amazing animals from around the world. I bet the excitement of our little pigs and conservation will have you saying, wee, 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 I don't want to go home.
Well, it's a good thing that those pigs like corn, because that was one of the corniest lines. That's all right. We're going to go ahead. We're going to start drawing Pua. And we have this nice little gourd that's on our page. Normally, we'll start out with a circle. We'll make you draw it, put the lines in. You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you.
And we're going to start with those two lines, the ones that go all the way across the gourd. We're not going to go out of our gourd here. We're just going to go ahead very simply. And we're just going to draw, okay? So don't take it too seriously. This is the first day of kindergarten. You're not expected to, present your MFA project or anything like that. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to take it with the eyes first. And I'm going to go right in between these two. They're going to go right between those two lines. And we're going to come up from this line and kind of put the edge of our eye right about there. And then I'm going to go ahead, and it doesn't have to be a perfect circle. It can be an oval. I'm going to kind of sketch it in. I want to keep it light, just barely touching my pencil to the paper. Once I have something circle-ish, I can go ahead and fix my circle. It's a lot easier to fix a circle than it is to draw one. Once I have a very light circle there, I'm going to go to the other side, do that same thing, come up from there. And put a circular type object in that area. And if you don't have the perfect circle, that's okay. None of us have any compasses. Don't have any, well, I mean, I guess you could trace a coin, but what fun is that? So once I have those two kind of very light circles, I'm going to cut a little bit off the bottom of it. I'm going to put a little hill right here. And I'm going to do this a little darker. You don't have to do it darker. You can do it very lightly if you want. I'm going to show you the difference between dark and light. We're just going to come in with a little hill. Smooth that out a little bit. Kind of put a little cheek popping up there. Same thing on the other side, except this one's going to be a little smaller. Just going to kind of go the width of the circle there. Just a little bit beyond. And then I can go ahead, everything above that, I can go ahead and start darkening in. Cover the lines I like, and ignore the ones I don't like. Make up new lines. Put a happy little tree in. Whatever you like to do. It's even funnier when you find out my last name is Ross. Coonies, they like to sniff around. They do graze a lot. They're a grazing animal. They're not burrowers. So when we do the nose, we're not going to be worrying about shovel shaped snouts or anything like that. But we are going to go ahead and put some eyelashes on him. He's a baby character, and they are very hairy. Well, they range from very hairy to very quite hairy. I mean, they have a coat, and they do dress for seasons. So it does get thinner when it's warmer. Nice little thick eyelid on there. But he is wide-eyed and bushy-tailed right now. By the way, if you've been to the yard, the yard that's outside, if you see Charlotte is the black and white Cooney pig we have there. She was the model for Pua. So
oh, cool.
You can meet a celebrity out in the yard. Once we have that in there, we're going to go ahead and we're going to put those eyeballs in. And there's going to be like the sun coming up in the Lion King. Just barely off of the little hill that we made. And it is a little bit more forgiving to do this because we're going to cover a lot of any happy accidents we might have in here. Because we are going to fill these in. But before I fill them in, let me go ahead and get myself a circle here. Before I fill them in, I'm going to put a little glint of light in his eye. So what that means, I'm just going to put a nice little circle in there and then shade around it. Just kind of fill in the rest of that. There we go. You got some eyes without a face right now. I know you want more. Okay, I see I'm dancing with myself. Enough idle chatter. We're going to go ahead and put a patch around his eye, because he has a patch around this the one on the left here. And we're just going to kind of come up around the eye and then bring it back down. Really simple patch. And I'm doing it very lightly because we're going to put something on him now that, you know, all pigs have. Eyebrows. Yes, we put eyebrows on our characters. That's just going to be just kind of make a nice little furry mark above his eye there. You can come around, cover those patches a little bit. And we can do this at the end, or you can do it now. You just kind of brush through that patch a little bit. Not essential to do right now, guys. We can go ahead and get the rest of it done before you get to that shading part. On the other side, we're going to put an eyebrow. We're not going to put a patch. So we're just going to kind of come up here. It's going to be a little higher. Just a little bit higher, maybe. I just kind of put it in the shape of an eyebrow. Where you would normally think an eyebrow would be, over the eye. Now, we're going to go into that snout. The snout, like I said, doesn't shovel like other ones. We are going to kind of put a little frowny face underneath that little line there. We're going to come around the eye just a little bit. Nice little curve right there. And then we're going to turn the corner and come down into that line. So we have this kind of hook here. It's going to keep going and stop. We'll do the same thing on the other side. It's like we're making two noses put together. I'll come down here. Nice little upturned nose. He's going to come into here. Now, don't worry if you go outside the lines, it might look funny, but it's not. And it doesn't have to be symmetrical. Symmetry is boring, according to my college professors, and they are right. We're going to go ahead and kind of split the nose a little bit, a little divot, this little curved line. And of course, we got to put some sniffers in there. We're going to put some nostrils. So we put little egg shapes in here, kind of tilted. And if they're not tilted exactly the same, no worries, fine. Go ahead and shade those in, if you want. And just to make it a little extra cute, we'll put a wrinkle above his nose here. Just a little curve above it. How about another little curve, just to kind of do that. Put another little curve in there. Doesn't have to be parallel to each other. He is a very happy pig. So we're gonna put a smile on his face. So we're gonna go just right next to our nose. And we're gonna put the rest of that cheek right there. That's what's pushing up his cheek right here. We do the same thing on this side. Kind of make a nice little dimple in there. Now normally when you make a smile, you go right from the middle of the dimple. We're not gonna do that. We're gonna kind of show a little bit of pudge, come right from the edge of it, just underneath our nose. So we're gonna kind of come up. Gotta leave a little dimple on the side, not too much. He's got a grin now. We want him to have a nice open mouth smile. So we're gonna kind of put a little flower pot down here. We're gonna come about halfway between that line and the end of the gourd here. It's right about in here. It's gonna be like a big bowl. It's gonna come in as if it were connecting with the rest of that smile. Doesn't have to be open too much. Like I said, they are grazers. They do not furrow. By the way, they are actually pregnant just a couple days longer than other domesticated pigs, about 116 days compared to the 114 that other domesticated pigs. And they do nurse, and the young are with them for about 10 weeks. So, not bad. We got to put a tongue in there so you can taste all the tasty grasses and weeds. They are omnivores. They will eat pretty much anything. So if they come across eggs or a snake or whatever, they'll eat it. They're not too picky. But mostly grains and grasses, vegetables, fruits. So we got a face on this gourd. Let's go ahead and put a little lip right here. Another little smile right here. We just want to kind of show that nice little bottom lip. Just follow your smile a little bit. Now, we've taken the liberty to give you the shape of his head. We're just going to do a little bit to it. We're going to add a little bit of fur. So I'm going to come off, I'm going to come up, and I'm going to give him his hairdo on top first. I'm just going to follow my line here, but then I'm going to kind of come off, not too much higher than that line in the middle, just kind of give him a little bit of hair. Little volcano right there, and then bring it down to the other side. And when I like my hair in here, it looks like it, you know, like my hair did early this morning when I got up. I'll go ahead and put that in there. On the sides, he does have some poofy little cheeks. We're gonna do about the same thing that we did up there. Now, some cootie pigs have wattles. They have these kind of big patches of, but he's still a baby, so we're just gonna kind of come out and just make a little bit of hair, a little bit of a little sideburn right here. Same on this side, a little sideburn. Back into that line, and then just trace over the bottom of the line. And whenever you like, go back over again, make it a little darker. Now, cooney pigs, they have 2 ears, just like all our pigs. But they can either hold them straight up, or they can flop them over. So they can be very cute. We're gonna go ahead and make them kind of shoot straight up. We're gonna kind of come up toward where we started our hair, right about in there. We're gonna put a little S curve. We're gonna kind of put a little hill, a little valley, coming up to this little corner. Our last little guideline out there. We're gonna hook it around. We're not going to make a silk purse, we're going to make a sow's ear right now. We're going to come just a little below our line here, right here on the cheek. We're going to do that same thing, only the other direction. A little bit of a valley, and then we're going to kind of make a little bit of hill coming up into there. So we have this little onion on the side of his head. Yeah, that's what it kind of looks like to me. Just above our line here, about kind of where I put my eyebrow in here, I'm going to do that line. I'm going to kind of do that line that I just did above it. It's going to come up, and it's going to slide right into that little edge right there. We're going to put the fold of his ear. Now, I did say they were hairy, right? I think I remember saying something like that. So I'm going to put a little hair in his ear. Now you did that side. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. Kind of right across from there. Nice little hill. Little valley. And hook it right in there. Now you do not have to contort like I'm doing right now. You can always turn your paper. Whatever makes it easier for you to do, that's what you do. Now a lot of times with gesture drawing, you do want to have that nice little freedom to be able to turn your paper. You don't have to. You don't want to use an easel or a desk. So that's why we gave you all these things. So right about underneath just right across from the other one, we're going to come up. Do that same thing, a little bit of a curve. Make that ear. Right across from this fold. Do that same thing. We're going to make the same line up here. And into, just like that, and a little bit of hair sticking out of his ear. Now Pua has more than just this little spot right here. That's how we're going to finish this off. We're going to go ahead and we're going to put a couple of spots in here. We're just going to kind of come up here, up toward the edge of our gourd here. Make a nice little spotty looking thing here. It does not have to look like mine. You can do whatever spot you want. You can make a hidden Mickey if you want. I'm going to get kind of a jelly bean here. Fill that in. And maybe one on the ear over here. We're going to make this a little longer. And real quick, just kind of shade that in. How's everybody feeling?
Good.
You should, because you just got done drawing Pua, which is something that even the Disney animators didn't do because he was in a computer and they just kind of moved him around. So you did something that even seasoned Disney animators
actually really
haven't
good.
done.
You call that good?
And if you look over to the right-hand side of our theater, over past those folks that are standing in front of the windows, those are some of our early Disney animators, and they're doing what you're doing. They're drawing from nature. You've got Retta Scott, who was our first female animator, with Mary Blair, who both became legends. Actually, all of the people up there are legends. Mary Blair helped design It's a Small World. Retta Scott started with us on Bambi. She's the first credited female Disney animator. She animated the Hound Scene, where the hounds were chasing Pauline. Check that out on Disney+. By the way, Cooney Pigs, I just found out today, are featured. Spoiler alert, guys. They're actually featured in the Black Widow movie.
Ooh.
Now I know you all want to see it now, right? I do too, but I'm not paying the $30. Not yet. Maybe I might break later on. In the middle there, you have two gentlemen, Frank Thomas and Ollie Johnston, two of the 9 old men. Literally wrote the book on animation. It's called The Illusion of Life. And I like to tell this story. You see Frank Thomas over there, and he's drawing Tramp. That dog, the model, was a dog that just kind of ran around the neighborhood, and they tried to catch it. They said, that's a perfect dog for Tramp. Couldn't catch it, it was too fast. Then they didn't see it around the neighborhood anymore. So they had to go find a dog. They started checking the pounds. They found the dog. Hours away from taking a long walk. Was set to take the long walk that day. If you don't know what the long walk is, talk to your parents. Or parents talk to your kids, they'll tell you. They rescued that dog. And that dog, well, she lived in the back of Disneyland the rest of her life. So adopt, don't shop. That's my message. There is one other gentleman over there. He's drawing on a lapboard very much like you're doing. Gesture drawing, some deer over there for a little thing that he called Bambi. And his name is Walt Disney. So you are actually walking in the footsteps of the very founder of this company. Now it takes 10,000 hours to become proficient at anything. We did this in about 20 minutes. You still have 9,999 hours and 40 more minutes. Maybe even 45 more minutes to go. So whatever is on your paper, be proud of. And know that you are now part of our Disney animation legacy. As a matter of fact, you have your diploma in front of you. Sign it, make it official.
Okay.
Show everybody whose masterpiece this is. I wasn't kidding, my last name is Ross. And if you want to know what day you became an honorary unpaid intern, today is 4. Where did I get the 4?
7.
I don't know where I got this 4. I can't save it. I know what I can do. 7, 10, 21. There we go. 10th day of February.